coming to the Edusa social bantaba and political bantaba, since I set foot in the University of the Gambia, I have been participating in politics. I am an active participant in the political bantaba and social bantaba. And since I started participating in these political bantaba pages, there is no Edusan who will stand today and say, Suleiman Jao, you once insulted me. It never happened. And if anyone have that, let him bring the evidence, let me see. For 3 good years, I have been participating in politics. I neither insult, I neither nor defame anybody. So I believe, as an individual, you should be responsible. You should challenge ideas. Politics is about ideas, not defamation and caricature. It is ideas that bring development, not caricature, defamation, insults. Those things have no use. And Edusa should be a fertile ground for the seeds of the system change that we need in our country. So everything that we need in the country should begin in the University of the Gambia. It should be a factory with the students as the raw materials. And after we have been fully baked, we will now be emitted into the society that have to accept us willy-nilly. We need to study this society, know the problems, go to the University of the Gambia, acquire the knowledge, and use that knowledge to transform this society.
Yes, we need the study. Our study says that both of you should not be a candidate because of your track records in the political bantaba.
Let them bring the evidence of their claims. If they believe I have done something in the political bantaba that will deny me these positions, let them bring the evidence. I'm waiting for that. Every Edusan is a witness to me that I involved in killing politics. I don't caricature, I don't insult, I don't defame. It is clear, very clear.
Thank you.
The Edusans can attest to that.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Honorable, the 15th Executive Council IPR, the Information and Communication Ministry, and you know that we are the custody of all the social media. My committee and I will make a background check on you two, and then our committee committed a resolution that both of you are not fit to become the Secretary General of 16th Executive Council because of your track record, and you are actively involved in the messaging in this political bantaba. So what do you have to say about that? That you
yes,
are not able to become the next.
Thank you for that. And then what the IPRO did, I think it's something very important. And then here we can, bring to light what exactly happened on these chat groups, especially on the political bantaba and of course on the social bantaba and other chat groups as well. For I, as an individual, I have partaken in exchanging messages on the chat groups, but not for once do I engage myself in adversarial politics. Do I engage myself in political bigotry? Do I engage myself in cyberbullying? Do I engage myself in character assassination? Do I engage myself in defamation of character of individuals who are vying for positions, of individuals who are playing major roles in the development of Edusa? Never for once do I. And my opponent here is being known, a notorious one for that matter. If you said King Solomon, everybody knows. An individual, together with his co-counterparts, have been engaging on the social media platforms, on the chat groups, insulting people. If this is politics of insult, he is here for you. He has been doing that. And I am very glad that he said if there are records. Now I would ask him, if people bring empirical evidences that he cannot deny, would he withdraw his candidacy? Because these evidences are there, and we are just waiting for this moment to come. And he said there are no evidences. And I'm sure that these evidences are going to be brought to light. And if these evidences are brought to light, he will still deny, even though his number is attached to it. His name is attached to it. He will still deny it. The truth is, you cannot circumambulate around situations because you wanted to protect yourself from something that you have been doing. So this is something that is pathetic. And then I, for one, as an individual, I engage in clean politics. I engage in politics of policies, and I can tell you for free that I was insulted, my parents were insulted during the time of the 14th Executive Council campaign period, during the time of Musa Abbas period. I was campaigning together with Ibrahim Etseka, and it went up to a moment, some of their campaign managers had to call me. Is it that you don't have anything to do? Ibrahim Asabal is one of them. I want to convince you to come and join SSC. I know what your pen can do. Up to a point that selling out the agendas of my candidates beat them to their hardcore, that they have to insult my parents, and these are evidence that we can provide.
Thank you.
And I don't exchange the same reciprocate parents to them, because that is not what I do.
Thank you.
I'm always clean, and that is my reputation. Fellow Edusans, I am Tumani Kamara, a 400-year student majoring in English language and a minor in history. This year's election is a defining moment for Edusans. We have all witnessed what happened. We have all seen what happened during the nationwide tour, during the Congress. I read a bill for people with disabilities or persons with disabilities, and the bill was mutilated by people for individual gains. And again, it is a moment for the first time the School of Education was suspended. The 15th Executive Council was suspended by the Dean of the School of Education, by the SU. And this has never happened, all because of lack of efficiency and of course imbalance rule in the 15th Executive Council. I believe it is the right moment, the right time that we all draw back to ourselves, look at the mirrors, and make the best decisions come 31st of this month, March 2026. Now, your choice is that you need change, and that change is rightly here. Why? I have served, contested, not once, not two, within the university and outside of the university. I have served as a Secretary General in Smart Mentorship Academy, currently serving as the President of New Covenant Environmental Club. I have served in the 14th Executive Council. I'm the winner of the first ever Edusa pageantry, and I represented School of Education in face of UTG 2024. And for 2024-2025 academic year, I won the Best Teacher Award winner in New Covenant UBS. I have served as the Administrative Secretary of Country Youths for Development. I have served as the Administrative Secretary for Summit for Better Education. These stuffs, these qualities, the caliber, the timber, the alacrity, the confidence, and the trust that thousands of people had in me in education, in the constituency where I am from, I believe in this year's election, we need that change, and the change is rightfully me. On that note, the best thing I can say, let us all come out in our large numbers on the 31st of March 2026, either in Brikama, our polling station, or at Faraba polling station, to vote for the rightful candidates. And Tumani Kamara is your rightful candidate for the position of Secretary General Edusa Elections 2026. Thank you all, and I wish you all a good luck. On that note, I would say, Jarama Al-Limbara, Amite Katu, Jokonjal, Baran Kanwari, Jerayanjef.
Thank you so much. Honorable, I'll give you 2 minutes to talk to the Edus and convince them to vote for you to become the next Secretary General under the 16th Executive Council, and that's going to be your final word also. You have 2 minutes to talk to the Edusans to vote for you as the next Secretary General.
Thank you very much. My dear Edusans, I believe every right is connected with a responsibility. No responsibility, no right. If you want to have leaders who represent your interest, then you should have the responsibility to come out in your large numbers and vote for Suleiman Jawo, aka King Solomon. He is the right candidate for the Secretary General. You see, Kanayo Okanayo once said, in life there are 3 C's. The first C stands for chances, the second C stands for choices, and the third C stands for consequences. He said, When God created us, He gave us chances. In these chances, we make our choices, but every choice that we make, we should consider the consequences. This should guide you in your search of a good leader. This should guide you when you are voting. Edusans, he who points his finger in darkness should accept whatever he touches. Therefore, in order to make the right decision, you have to vote with clarity. You have to vote for the individual who is selfless, who can stand and defend you, somebody who is not biased, who does not believe in caricature and defamation. Anything I say about an individual, I will produce the evidence. This is what I believe in politics. I believe politics of, I believe in decent politics, not politics of defamation, caricature, and insult. My partner, my competitor, my opponent here, he was texting and texted me unknowingly, telling me that my opponent, that is me, I have withdrawn my candidature. The time I knew that he was the one coming. He is spreading rumors about me to the Edusans. You be careful. I have screenshots of this. It is in my phone, and if he wishes, I can tell him right now. I can show him the evidence. I don't defame, I don't caricature. Whatever I say about individual, I will produce the evidence. I am not like him. If he wants, I can produce the evidence right now. He was texting people, and he texted me unknowingly, telling me that that man is incompetent, he is not capable. The moment he knew that I am the one coming, he gave up. You see, for me, I don't do that. When I am texting the Edusans, I tell them what they can do, what I can do, not what my opponents is like this or like that. No, I don't believe in that. Thank you.
Good afternoon to our viewers across the Gambia and to the students joining us live. Welcome to Fine TV Farato Studio. I am your moderator, Sheikh Omar Fati, IPRO 15 Executive Council. We are back again to bring you Edusa Policy Debate 2026. And we bring you the candidates that are vying under the 16th Executive Council. We now turn to the office that serves as the administrative backbone of any active and functionable council, and that is the Secretary General. We all know Secretary General, they are the backbone of any administrative or student lead council. Now, if the president is the vision of the council and the finance ministers are the spenders or the officers that are responsible for the finance and the money, then here the Secretary Generals, they are the one that make sure that the day-to-day administrative works function according to the Constitution. And they are also the custodians of the records, the Constitution, and any other formal correspondence that is happening in the Council. And today we have two gentlemen that are vying for this position to become the next Secretary General under the 16th Executive Council. So we're going to give them the questions that all the Edusans are asking, and we'll give them the platform also to sell their policies and programs, and the Edusans will have the choice to decide who is going to be their next Secretary General. So as you are all aware, we have two gentlemen from the two different camps in Edusa. My right hand side, we have a candidate that is from the Student Service Council, and we have the other from my left hand side from the Team Renaissance. I will give them the opportunity to introduce themselves and also to talk to the Edusans, convince them, and you, the Edusans, will have the choice to decide who is going to be your next Secretary General come 31st March 2026. Now, the candidate on my right hand side, Honorable, you can introduce yourself to the viewers.
Good afternoon, Sir Omar Fati, the IPRO of the 15th Executive of Edusa. Good afternoon to my brother, Tumani Kamara. For me, every Edusan is either a brother or a sister, regardless of your political affiliation. Good afternoon to Kekuta, Fine TV. Good afternoon to my beautiful viewers, my fellow Edusans in particular, and the students of the University of the Gambia in general. I am Suleiman Jao, also known as King Solomon, the aspiring Secretary General of the Education Students Association. I am a 300 level student, majoring in English language and minoring in geography. I am from the Student Service Council, also known as SSC, the camp that believes in unity, inclusiveness, and progress. In unity, we believe united we stand firm, and divided we fall. We believe unity is not just about coming together as an association, but also loving one another, respecting one another, and working together for our collective objective. In inclusiveness, we believe in the opportunities that we give, no students should be left out, regardless of your political affiliation or religion or ethnicity. And our services will be rendered to everyone equally. In progress, we believe we should produce the best candidates, and these candidates must come up with attainable and sustainable policies, and they must fulfill their promises within the frame of time that they are going to serve you, the Edusans. So this is how an association achieves progress. This is what I believe in, and when you vote me into office, these are the core values that I will operate based on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable, for that wonderful introduction. Now to candidates on my left-hand side. Honorable, you can introduce yourself to the Edusans.
Thank you so very much, Prof. Fati, the current IPRO of the 15th Executive Council. My warm greetings to Fine TV for hosting us yet another policy debate. They have been a close friend of Edusa in their programs and then, of course, events. It is my pleasure to be here today with you. And of course, my heartfelt greetings to the fellow Edusans of the University of the Gambia. And of course, my greetings to the Noble Association, Pragmatic, and of course, a team that has been known for doing wonders. And there is none other team than Team Renaissance. And then my greetings to all on Sunday, especially to our beautiful viewers that are watching us live on Fine TV. My name is Tumani Kamara, a 400-year level student, majoring in English language and a minor in history. It is my fervent pleasure, and of course, I am happy today to be here as an aspiring candidate for the position of Secretary General. It is one of the most important positions as far as student leadership or institutional governance is concerned, as it serves as the backbone of any institution that serves as a link, correspondence, and of course, very critical. The weakening of this particular position is tantamount to the crumblingness of that particular association. So I am here today to give out my policies, and thank you, Team Renaissance, for giving me the belief that I am the rightful candidate for the position of Secretary General. Until then, thank you.
Thank you so much. The viewers, I would like to remind you to take out your dictionary and your pen and paper, because I'm flanked by the English majors. So don't be surprised if the words that I don't even never heard before, come out from the candidates, because this debate is not going to be easy, and then it's not going to be as usual. So now let's continue. Honorable, I want you to tell the Edusans, because the position that you are vying is a very, very important position. I want you to tell the Edusans your educational background until where you are at the University of the Gambia.
Thank you very much. I started my schooling in Nyumi, Chairman Baidam Village, the Chairman Lower Basic School. Then when I completed, I proceeded to Medina Siring Mas Basic Cycle School, where I became the head boy. So my journey as a leader began at an early stage. So I became the head boy because of the trust that the teachers had in me, and because of my performance. I was very outstanding. So from there, when I completed my basic cycle school level, I proceeded to SL Senior Secondary School still in Lower Nyomi. So where I became the well-known speaker in SL Senior Secondary School. I became a senior counselor. I also became an actor. So I participated in a lot of activities. Yeah. Then when I finished, when I graduated from the school in 2015, I proceeded to the Gambia College, where I majored in English language and minored physical education. So I have acquired the certificate, the higher certificate, advanced diploma. From there, I had 4 years of teaching experience, and within the frame of time that I have taught, I occupied various positions, such as the Secretary General of the Sports Department in Nyani Upper and Senior Secondary School, that is in Wasu. I also became the head of the sports department when I was transferred to Firdausi Upper and Senior Secondary School. I was the head of the English language department in Firdausi Senior Secondary School, Upper and Senior Secondary School. I was also the head of the Scouts department in Firdausi Upper and Senior. And in scouting, we all know there is a promise, the scout promise. On my honor, I promise that I will do my best, do my duty to God and to my country to help other people to keep the scout law. And the motto is to be prepared. The slogan is to do good daily. So this is what I believe in. I also, participated in a lot of activities to ensure that the students, potentials are harnessed. So from there, I proceeded to the University of the Gambia, where I am majoring in English language and minoring in geography, and I'm currently working with the Secretary General of the 15th Executive Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. That is a wonderful breakdown. And now to Honorable Kamara. Can you tell, because the position that you are vying is a very, very important position under the 16th Executive Council. Edusans want to know your educational background. Who is going to be their next Secretary General? So can you give us your educational background up to the university level?
Thank you so very much, Prof, once again, for that wonderful question. I began my educational journey in the hinterland of the Gambia, URR, in Kantora Samekoto, where I did my lower basic school. And during my time in the school, I was serving as the head boy of Samekoto Lower Basic School. Then I proceeded to Garawal UBS. In Garawal, that's where I did my 7th grade to the 9th grade. And then I graduated with distinction, and of course the best student in English language, and of course the best student in social and environmental studies. Having harnessed my skills in the UBS level, and then proceed to Fatoto Senior Secondary School. In Fatoto Senior Secondary School, there I met one of my guardian angels, Honorable Mr. Dembaba. He's late now. He was the principal of the school. And then I was enrolled in 2013 to 2016, where I did my senior secondary school. But during my time in Fatoto, it served as both an experience and of course a learning environment that has exposed me to certain leadership qualities. And among them, I was serving as the Secretary General of the Competitive Press Club. And then also in the subsequent year, I served as the president of the same said competitive club. And then also in the same year, students were sent into the United States of America to participate in robot competitions. And then in 2016, the particular year where I sat for grade 12 exams, I was opportune to be among the few students that represented our school in the Fanta Science and Mathematics quiz competition held in Nasiru Ahmadiyya. And then throughout that rigorous competitiveness of the competition, our school, for the first time in their history and for the first time in the history of Region 6, we became the winners of the Fanta Science and Mathematics quiz competitions in 2016. Then from there in 2016, when I graduated with a flying colors in Fatoto Senior Secondary School after serving distinctive roles, and then before proceeding to the Gambia College, I did a certificate in Information Technology ICT in Lasting Solutions Management and Institute in Westfield for 3 months. Then I proceeded again to do a diploma in ICT in the same institution, Lasting Solutions Management and Institute in Westfield. Then from there, I did an advanced diploma in ICT Management Institute and Developments in Westfield. These are skills that I believe every Secretary General needs to embody yourself as an individual that would harness your skills, not only about writing, but also technology. It's very important. As a Secretary General, you cannot be sufficient enough to be called a Secretary General if you do not have the technical know-how of technology as the world is advancing. And then from there, I also served as the Secretary General of Kantora Youths for Development, where we normally organize football competitions and then some social activities to make sure that the people of the Kantora constituency could be brought together into one umbrella, and which has more than 37 villages altogether. So if those people trusted you as their administrative secretary, I think it is very important that Edusans would do the same. That is not enough. I have also served as the Secretary General for Sami for Better Education. That is my own village where I was born and brought up. Sami for Better Education is an association that was established in 2001. And 2001, then I was in the nursery schools. And then in 2019-2020, I served as the Administrative Secretary for Sami for Better Education. This association, the main goal is to make sure that the people of that village could be harnessed in their skills and their knowledge, and of course finding them scholarships and other stuffs so they could go far in education. Then in 2017, I enrolled at the Gambia College School of Education, majoring in Social and Environmental Studies and then Visual Arts. In my tenure there, we had an environmental club and then served as the Secretary General, and of course the Visual Arts Club, where we normally do art exhibitions in the Gambia College in 2017-2020, where I graduated. Then from there, I proceeded to the Gambia University of the Gambia. But before that, and then I was posted into the same school, Fatoto, where I did my teaching practice, and then also taught in the school for a couple of years, where I served as the department head for visual arts and government. And I was also equally teaching geography in the same school. I was teaching 3 schools, monitoring 48 periods per week. So from there, I was enrolled in the University of the Gambia, where I started 2022-2023 academic year, majoring in English language and a minor in geography. So within the university, I have done a lot, but I believe the questions would come about that. So this is my track record as far as I am concerned, and I'm here today to give out some of my policies.
Thank you, Honorable, for that wonderful breakdown of your educational and track records. To my surprise, both of them serve as the head boy in their various basics education earlier on. So it means that whoever become the Secretary General is going to be doing good for the education students, because if you serve as a head boy at your basics level, you must be well prepared to handle any position that come along your way as life goes on. Now, Honorable, there are 11 different executive positions under the 16th Executive Council. Why vying for the Secretary General position?
Thank you very much. I believe I have the capacity to handle the position because I have the experience. I have been a Secretary General in various associations. You see, being a secretary general does not only mean having the ability to read and write, or the ability to communicate, but also the ability to think critically and bring solutions in critical situations. It is about having a strategic action, to ensure that the position that you hold in that particular association, brings the development needed in that association. I was the Secretary General of the United Teachers Front, and there was a time, when pension accounts were opened for teachers without their consent. They opened the pension accounts without the teachers' consent. They produced a pension policy without informing the teachers. They choose an amount of money to be deducted from each teacher's salary without the teacher's permission. And these have been occurring for 2 good years until the teachers had to find out that their salaries have been deducted for pension. When we discovered these accounts, there was a WhatsApp group created, and then someone sent me this WhatsApp group link, and more than 5 people sent me the same group link. That is a trust in me. I joined the WhatsApp group and analyzed the situation through my strategic action plan and critical thinking. When I studied the situation, I realized that there was a bit confusion. So I said to myself, what should I do to bring a solution to this? So I realized that there was a bit confusion. I intervened and then started separating the government pension scheme and the GTUCC pension scheme. I said the first thing I need to do is to enlighten. Once the members get this information, then they will know which action to take. So within 2 days, I enlightened them. The government pension scheme and the GTUCC pension scheme. What is their difference? So there was a time the government pension scheme, it was based on the 1950 pension scheme, which was going on, and by then the government was paying only 15% of the teacher's gross income. So if you calculate the teacher's gross income, 15% of it was what the government was saving for the teachers. So the GTUCCU pension scheme was not even indicated in our pay slips, so it was hidden. So through my action plan and strategic thinking, I started sending dispatches. Once I started sending the dispatches, I pretended that there was a communication unit while there was no communication unit. I was the one sending the dispatches. So that is what pressurized them, and they went on a nationwide tour for the first time. And we are the first people to pressurize the GTU-CCU to, in such situations. They went on nationwide tour, enlightening the members. So when I heard that they are going on enlightenment tour, I sent another dispatch to show that these people are coming to you to show you that they are just coming to defend themselves. So that was the time when they went. They lifted the ban. The time they created this pension scheme.
All right, well, I have to intervene here. But I asked the question, why you apply for Secretary General? Now, if you want to tell us all these kind of stories, we will still live here. But tell the Edusans, what is your reason why you apply, but you don't apply for other position, but Secretary General position?
Okay, Secretary General position is the position that I can do the most. I have the experience. I have been doing it since my schooling, since I have been teaching. I was the Secretary General of the Sports Department in Nyani Opan Senior. I was the head of the English Language Department. And being a secretary, you need to have the English language skills. I was also the Secretary General of the movement for unity and development in my village. I have that experience, and I am the Secretary General of the United Teachers Front. Yes.
All right, thank you.
And now I am working with the Secretary General of the 15th Executive Council, and through that, I have participated in, activity report writing. I signed MOUs. I represented the Secretary General in various meetings. Whenever the Deputy Secretary General is not there, I am the one who will intervene and take the minutes. So this is not a new thing to me. I have gathered a lot of experience to become your Secretary General.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Honorable, we, under the 16th Executive Council, we have different, 11 different positions,
Sure.
but you decided to go for Secretary General.
Sure.
Why Secretary General position?
Yes, as an individual, you align your skills, you align your understanding with what you do. That is what I believe in. And I believe in that administrative secretary, never today, it has been a journey, a trajectory that has been following throughout my academic journey. And then out of this, I believe that the Secretary General of the 16th Executive Council needs an individual who have the technical know-how in administrative matters, in oversight functions, to making sure that to bring back the sanity that the education students need. I have harnessed my skills in both ICT, which a Secretary General needs. I have a certificate, a diploma, and an advanced diploma in computing technology. That is not something that it's my problem. And I've also served as a Secretary General of a whole constituency. And then this brought about a lot of experiences where I wrote a lot of letters, proposals, concept notes, memorandum of understandings, to making sure that funds are lobbied, to making sure projects are lobbied. And then I have also served under the 14th Executive Council. I was recognized as one of the most active members, and Bureso is my reference to that. And with all these skills, I believe that I am the right individual who has the caliber, the timber, the alacrity, and the fiber to serve education students, and to make sure that I would look at all functions, even the oversight functions, and be neutral at all time. That is what the education students need, because the position is very critical, because it serves as the embryo, it serves as the bedrock, the foundation. Without a good secretariat material, as Chinua Achebe would always say, when things fall apart, the center does not hold. And we have seen it. Edusans have seen it. What is happening? So it is time. With what I have served this institution, I believe is the right moment to stood up on my feet and say, this is what I want to do. And I need all of you to rally behind me, and we make Edusa working again. This is why I applied for this position, and this is why I believe that I am the only rightful individual to give them what they need in the 16th Executive Council. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You two people are vying for a position that is very, very important, the heart of any council. And now, Honorable, I am going to give you 2 minutes to tell the Edusan what have you done during your time in School of Education to the education students before vying for this position. No outside, but only what you have done to the Edusans in 2 minutes.
Yes, first of all, I will say I have, I am a role model. In order for you to be, I am a role model for the Edusans. Because since I set my foot in the School of Education, I have been participating in politics, and I participated without insulting anybody. I participated without defamation. So this, being a role model is one of the things, that I have done for the Edusans. Secondly, I am working with the current Secretary General of the 15th Executive Council. And through his secretariat, I have participated in writing comprehensive activity reports. I have participated in writing, uh, letters. I have participated in representing the Secretary General in meetings. I wrote meeting minutes, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of, things that the council have achieved through the Secretary General. Yeah, through the office of the Secretary General. And I have participated a lot. We secured partnerships with NAMI Foundation. We signed MOUs with Yield Network. We signed MOUs with the STAR of the UEG, which is now the University of Education, the Gambia, and a lot of things, So with this, I believe this have given me the experience, to continue working. This is not a new thing to me. Yeah, once I'm elected, I will just continue working. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, before going for this position, what have you done to Edusians before going for Secretary General? Because it's a very important position. Sure. So we want to know what they have done for the Edusians before going for the position.
Yeah, thank you once again.
In 2 minutes.
Yes, serving Edusa, it's one of the best things that any individual could do. I vividly remember when I was enrolled in 2022-2023, in the first ever Edusa week that I have participated in the Edusa week, and during the time 2024, and I participated in debate and public speaking competition where I emerged as the first runner-up. And then I have also served in the 14th Executive Council Secretariats, where we wrote a correspondence. We wrote minutes, proposals, concept notes that brought about a lot of income funds that sponsored one of the best ever Edusa Nationwide Tour 2024 that Edusa has ever registered in the history of the School of Education. I have also participated in the Face of Edusa 1.0. That means for the first time, there was a competition called Face of Edusa, or a beauty pageant, and I emerged as the winner in the male category, Face of Edusa 2024. And then I moved forward to represent the School of Education in the Face of UTG 2024. So these are something that I have been doing for the School of Education. Not just once, not two, but times without number. And in collaboration with the People Remember Foundation, we brought about a lot of trees in the School of Education. And these were some of the things that I have done for the School of Education. And that warrants me and qualified me as an individual who was there before, not just show up because I want to take up the mantle. It doesn't work like that. Leadership is a process. It is not a product that you can go into the market and buy. You earn it gradually. And I have earned that trust throughout. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Honorable Suleiman, I'm going to give you opportunity. I'll give you 2 minutes opportunity to talk to your brother here to withdraw and you become unopposed because you are able to convince the Student Service Council and then they select you as the best candidate to come and become the next Secretary General. So the man between you and 16th Executive Secretary General is right here. So I've given you 2 minutes to convince this man to withdraw and you become the next Secretary General. So talk to your brother so that you can become unopposed in 2 minutes.
Yeah, this man here, he may have.
Now we're not talking to the Edusa, we're talking to the man. So talk to him, face him, eye to eye, and then tell him to withdraw.
Okay. Tumani Kamara, you need to withdraw because you know why? You may have the ability, to write, but you don't have the ability to think critically in certain situations. You don't have the ability to set strategic plans in order to achieve a particular objective. You know, leaders are tested when the situation is tough. He does not have the emotional background, the mentality to handle certain situations. For example, the United Teachers Front, which I was a Secretary General of, if it were him, he wouldn't have set a strategic plan to ensure that these pension accounts were closed. He wouldn't have the ability to ensure that these pension accounts are closed and members have the ability, the capacity to make decisions based on their finances. So if such situations happens, if similar situations happen in the Education Student Association, it requires an individual like me to handle such situations, to think critically, analyze the situation, and bring solutions to the Edusans. Leadership, Secretary General is not all about writing. So this is why you should step out. Let me take the position, Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, the same thing to you, Honorable. I'll give you 2 minutes to talk to your brother because you are able to convince the team Renaissance and they select you to become the next executive Secretary General of 16 Executive Council. And the man between you and that position is right here in front of you. So talk to him face to face. Let him resign so that he can go for honor post and become the next Secretary General.
Yes, thank you so much. As far as I am concerned, I am going alone. This is a solo project. There is no competition in this. Edusans have already know what is happening, and then my opponent here has talked about GTU case, which I had a friend there, Uncle Modu. He is working in the records, and anybody who knows in records in GTU, you would know Modu Baji. And then talking about pensions, allowances, and then him being in the front lines. I am a teacher, and I have never seen him in the front line, trying to advocate for the seizure or the closure of those accounts. And I can tell you for free that my account, what I was told is that you can collect your money, but then your account will still be running until you want to stop it yourself. So that is the policy that they fix it there. Now, why did he or why should he not contest?
Yes,
why should he not contest? The simple thing is he has never been there before for Edusa. He just saw up because there is no other choice for SSC to bring. That is why he was, sacrificed, to come and contest against Tumzat. He has never, served Edusa in such levels that would warrant him to give him the best. Now, talking about maturity, talking about emotions, if someone has to talk about maturity and emotions, people are having his screenshots where he, and his colleagues were engaged in insulting people in the Edusa chat groups, the social bantaba, the political bantaba. These are empirical evidences that are there for every Edusan to see. So that is not something that I do. I definitely don't do that. And as far as this Edusa election is concerned, I'm the best individual. You have never served or represented School of Education in any competitions. So there is no way that you have Edusa at heart before and you are a 300 level student.
Thank you.
It does not make any sense anyway.
Thank you. It's like now the choice is the ball is in the court of the Edusan to decide. Yes, they are going to be the one to decide because both of them do not want to back down. So come 31st March, you have the opportunity to select the next Secretary General of 16 Executive Council. Honorable, now we're going to the most important part of the policy debates. Now I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk to Edusans about your policies and programs. So this will give you the opportunity to convince them and also to vote for you to become the next Secretary General. So you have 5 minutes to talk to Edusans about your policies and your programs.
Thank you very much. Well, when we were fighting about the pension scheme issues, we did not fight against the pension, but we were fighting against the decision to open pension accounts without the consent of the members. So those types of decisions are the ones we were fighting, so that it will not happen again. Every member should have the right to make their decisions based on their finance. So coming to my policies, Edusans. The first policy I need to introduce to you is to ensure that there is enlightenment about the Edusa constitution. We all know that in order to participate fully, you need to understand the constitution, because the constitution is the guidance, the guide for every Edusan. Yeah. So I will ensure that there is constitutional enlightenment. How am I going to do it? I will collaborate with the Legislative Council, the Advisory Board, and my fellow Executive Council members to ensure that there are trainings done every month for the Edusans. So by this way, the Edusans will have a deep understanding of the Edusa constitution, because most don't even have the appetite to read the constitution. But by doing so, you will see to it that they will have the urge to read the constitution and understand it. You see, the Edusans have, very strong powers when it comes to the, administration of the association. So every month there will be trainings, and these participants will be certified. And again, there will be regular quizzes about the constitution in Edusa WhatsApp platforms to test the students' understanding of the constitution. So this is the first policy that I will implement. Secondly, I will ensure that there is easy access to non-confidential files. Every minister should have a link whereby these non-confidential files will be stored, and every Edusan should have access to these non-confidential files. If you have a look at the Constitution, Section 6, the duties and responsibilities of members, you will see to read that the members have the duty to monitor the activities of the Executive Council, to ensure that their activities are in line with the Edusa constitution. So in order to monitor, you need to have access to these non-confidential files. So if they have access to these non-confidential files, they can make decisions based on that. So another policy is that I will create I will ensure that there is communication. There is email. I will construct emails for every minister. So there will be official communications between the ministers and the Edusans. So the Edusans, anything that they wish to communicate with the ministers, they will send it via emails. For example, an example of these emails will be Suleiman Jawa, secretary at edusa.gm. Yes. So any official information that they need to communicate with a particular minister, they will send it there. Instead of WhatsApp calls, normal calls, and other things, it should be official. Yes. So another policy is to ensure that the already existing partnerships are maintained, and I will create new ones. I will ensure that there is partnership with Sheikh Anta Diop University or Amilcar Cabral University in Guinea-Bissau. So the association will go into these universities and interact with the associations that are theirs. So you will see to it that they will gain more experience, they will exchange experiences in terms of running the affairs of the Education Students Association. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for that. Now, to Honorable on my left-hand side, I'll give you 5 minutes to talk to Edusa and share your policies and program, and this will give you the opportunity to talk to them to vote for you as the next Secretary General 16 Executive Council. So you have 5 minutes to sell your policies and your program. So Edusans are watching.
Thank you. Apart from the constitutional functionalities of the Secretary General, I have genuinely crafted 6 meticulously policies, and these policies are tangible, realistic, and time-bound. We don't just cook policies that are not attainable, ambiguous, and then it does not align or hold water. And then the first policy, I believe everyone as an administrator, if you know what the Secretary General position is, you have to talk about the policy watchdog as your center cornerstone, or we can also call it the policy pendulum. In this policy watchdog, that is where I am going to prepare a comprehensive activity report plan for all the ministers, and of course making sure that this aligns and the president and the vice president's decisions would be corroborated in this activity plan. And this would monitor and commit all the ministers into working to make sure that the policies that they have provided to Edusans during the day of the convention, they will follow suit these policies and carry it out based on the time that they have given me, on the time frame on the activity report. And then this one is going to ease the work of the Auditor General. The Auditor General would use this as a reference. Okay, Minister X and Y, completed this, take note of this. Minister X and Y completed this activity, take note of it. If you do not have a systematic chain, it will become definitely a burdensome, no direction. You are just going ahead, randomly, and that does not make sense. And any Secretary General requires to know these simple stuff. And the second thing is the review and establishment of MOUs, Memorandum of Understandings, as the second top priority policy. That is, we are going to review the existing policies and also establish new MOUs with partners. And how do we do this? It's very simple. As someone who already have the connection and then have the will, I have already talked to partner donors that are willing. For example, United Movement for Change. And these are individuals that are willing to sponsor the whole nationwide tour. So it is not just about creating policies or stuff that you just don't even understand what they're exactly talking about, and which is very pertinent and it's important. So that is going to be my second top priority policy, the review and establishment of Memorandum of Understandings. Now, third on my policy is going to be training on debate and public speaking. It's very important, Edusans. Get to listen to this. The reason why I am so concerned and pertaining about this policy is that I've been a victim of this. I have participated in the Edusa Week debate and public speaking in 2024 and emerged as the first runner-up. And we were told that the winners of this competition are going to represent Edusa in the VCNC tournament, and which is very important, representing the image of Edusa in a university community. It's very important. The persons, the people, the brains, the caliber that you send there tells well. So to my dismay, Edusa did not participate in the first round. They did not participate in the second round. And Bojis have to call me, Yaya Bojang, the former SG, and said, Tumzat, I did not see you, Edusa, participating in the first round. What happened? I told him I was never aware and I was never told. And then guess who they sent there? SSC people, Jite, Alasan Jite, and Seni Jite, who have already participated. And then they sent those people there, and the Minister NL said that because he has no representatives, the truth is he does not communicate, because the existing truths were there. And the current president was the Education and Research Minister then, and he told me, Tumzat, you have that quality. I know you are going to win this. But at the end, what happens? So with this policy, I'm going to make sure that I work with the IPRO Ministry and the Education and Research, who are none other person than Honorable Maria Masala and Jibril Ture, to make sure that we organize a training. We call on Edusans who are interested to represent us. So through that, we will vet them, sieve and weigh those who have the potential and the quality to represent good image of the institution, will be chosen and represent School of Education in debate and public speaking. The only individual I remember as per records is Yunusa Mbai and Anna Manga, and Yunusa was emerged as a champion. So these are the three most important policies as far as I am concerned. So on convention, I will deal with the other policies. Thank you.
Thank you. You can keep the mic. If you want to hear more about their policies and program, you can join the EC the day of the conventions. They will give them ample time to deliver on their policies and program. But here we have to move. Honorable, if you are elected according to the constitution, the draft constitution of Edusa 2022, you will be the custodians of the constitution. Now, if you become the Secretary General, the President and other council ministers want to butcher the constitution under your watch, what will you do in 1 minute?
Yes, there is this neutrality policy, and as per Edusa Constitution 2022 in section 15 highlighted all the roles of the Secretary General. And in terms, this is a particular critical situation where as a Secretary General, you have to play that neutrality role. You are not part of any camp now, so long as Edusans have voted you into office. You are not SSC, you are not a Renaissance member. So your role there is not to allow any council member, regardless of any background that you have, to mutilate the constitution in such a way to give a political gerrymander to their camp, which is not constitutionally allowed, because you were sworn in. I was sworn in as a minister, took the oath that I would serve without fear, favor, or hindrance. So that is what I'm going to do exactly to make sure that the interest of Edusa is first before anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, if you are elected as the Secretary General, the Edusa Constitution, the draft one, the 2022, give you the power to become the custodian of the Constitution. Now, if the President and other council ministers want to butcher the Constitution under your watch, what will you do?
Yeah, what I will do is very simple.
In 1 minute.
I will just enlighten them, show them that they are wrong when they butcher the Constitution. Because sometimes it could be a misunderstanding. So I will make them understand the Constitution. So that's it. If they resist, if they continue doing it, I will give them a warning. If they continue doing it, the Edusans themselves have the power to remove any executive member by 2/3. Yeah, 2/3 of the population. You know, there's a procedure. So 2/3 of the general student body will sign a petition, and this petition will be sent to the Legislative Council. And once this petition reaches the Legislative Council, they will make their investigation, you know, do the proper scrutiny, and come up with the final decision. The general student body are very powerful. They can remove any executive member. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So they are also very powerful because they are the one that is going to vote you into office. So nobody should play with the general membership. Honorable, as the principal correspondent officer, communication is your weapon. How will you improve the speed and the clarity of information from the council to the general student body when you become the Secretary General?
Thank you so very much. Section 15, subsection 1 said that the Secretary General has to be the correspondent, the emails, and then the writing of MOUs, concepts, whatsoever. All writings done, communicas, has to be the Secretary General. And as the Secretary General, I would make sure that communication is something that is very key. But how do we do this? You have an IPRO ministry. Always making sure that this ministry and your ministry works collaboratively, especially for communications that are related to them, but are under your custody. So you make sure that you implement them and you pressurize them to give them on time. And for emails, it's very important. You have to be up to date, because it happens here, emails were sent in the current executive council and then they were not in fact aware of what is happening until the last minute, which brought about a lot of administrative hampers on the council. So you have to be cognizant of the emails and all the correspondence, the minutes and the reports, and you give it out at any time that they are required by either the council or through the Congress, or in an event that there is an occasion going on, impeachment or whatsoever, to serve as references to making sure that the image of the association is being put into something that is considerable. And as the Secretary General, you would be the custodian of all those stores. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, if you are elected as the Secretary General, as the principal correspondent officer, communication is your weapon. How will you improve the speed and clarity of information from the council to the general student body if you are elected?
Yes, I will ensure that the communication is clear and precise. Even, a primary school student can read and understand it, because communication is about clarity. Yes. And then I will ensure that there is timely response. Yes. There is timely response. Yeah. Anything, that is, worthy of, that is necessary, to communicate, I will ensure that it is communicated clearly and on time. Yeah, this is how I will improve the communication. Communicate on time, ensure that the communication is clear and precise. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for that. Honorable Kamara, now administrative efficiency is often the backbone of success. What is your vision for making Edusa the most organized students lead council at the University of the Gambia? Because University of the Gambia, we have different student lead council, different from the main union. But when you become the Secretary General, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that the Edusa become the most organized and well-organized lead council. How can you do that?
Thank you. I have made mention of policies that I wanted to do, and then one of these policies is a policy watchdog, and then rebranding the image of the association is one of it. But through this, we crafted policies that are synergized together, ranging from the Education and Research and the IPRO Ministry through the President. It's very important that if you are working, you work as a council. You brought policies that they are aligned. They align together, so one and one could be vice versa. So rebranding the image for the first time, we would make sure that we restore back that sanity Edusa had, the best sub association in the university community. I would make sure that I work with the president, work with the IPRO ministry for rebranding the image of the institution, and make sure that all the social media handles, they work very well. These are things that can sell out the image. And the correspondence, they are also very important. How you send correspondence, they are also very important. So through making these things and a rigorous activity through the social and welfare, that is none other than Ms. Banajaju, and then finance, you make sure that you bring back the activeness that requires them, the image and the policies, to be shown out to the university community. And if that is done, people would definitely talk about the school. Look at what is happening in our sister schools. For example, it is hard to mention, but that's the truth. Look at SOSA. SOSA has been known. Why? Because of their social media handles. You look at their social media handles, any activity plans that they have there, it's done there. So we are going to synergize everything together and we do the same thing. Even more than that. So we can have the best of association, the best male leader, and the best female leader as far as the 16 SF country is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, administrative efficiency is often the backbone of success. What is your visions for making Edusa the most organized lead council? Because we have different sub associations at the University of the Gambia.
Yeah, first of all, the general student body, as I mentioned in my policy, they need to understand the constitution first, because once they understand the constitution, they know their real power. So, and they will work according to the constitution and make the executive work according to the constitution. So, in order for you to be organized, you need to work according to the constitution that governs you. Yes. Secondly, I will ensure that there are official communications. Instead of WhatsApp calls, phone calls, there should be emails for every minister. And anything that the Edusans want to communicate with them, they will communicate with them officially. Any adjustment that they want, to ensure that the minister do it, they communicate it through those emails. Yes. And then again, the Edisons need to know that every right is connected with a responsibility. No responsibility, no right. If you want your association to be the best, you must ensure that you do your responsibility, any responsibility that will ensure that your association is the best. And one of the responsibilities is to attend the meetings, attend Congress, attend extraordinary Congress, and attend every event that the association does. So by this way, I believe we will be the most organized, association. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable, many a times, there is a conflict between the IPR ministry and the secretariat. And we have seen, from the previous council and even the 15th executive council, whereby the IPR is sending the message, the secretariat also is sending the message. And we all know that that is not normal. If you happen to be the next secretary general, how are you going to make sure that those kind of things do not repeat itself?
Yes, I believe that is a lack of communication and administrative overlaps of responsibilities of different domains as far as the ministries are concerned. So as an administrative secretary, I would make sure that I carry out my functions as aligned with the Constitution as per 2022, and then carried out my policies that I intend to do. And then the policies that I have that connection with the IPRO ministry, we all know they are responsible for the correspondence between the council and the students, unless otherwise it requires their role in an extraordinary moment. So this way they can communicate. But other than that, the Secretary General does not have any rights to share communications that are the responsibility of the IPRO ministry. So this way, it simply means there is that conflict of interest. And when this happens, everybody in the council will be working, haphazardly. And as the administrative secretary, that is why they call you administrative. Your role is to make sure you put everybody on board. And the auditor will be observing all of them and their activities and what they do. So this way, I will serve as a neutral individual, bring everybody on board, and serve everybody the responsibility accorded to them based on the Constitution. If I want to go against that constitutional right, I am against the education students because they created those constitutional mandates as per that particular portfolio. So that is what exactly I am going to do. Neutrality is key in the secretariat, and I am going to enforce that to the highest level.
Thank you. Honorable, the same question. We have seen from the previous executive council, including the 15th executive council, where the secretarial and the IPRO board are sending dispatches. So now if you happen to become the next secretary general, how are you going to avoid that?
Yeah, first of all, there needs to be clear communication between these two, the Secretary General and the IPRO. So both of them communicate. The Secretary General is the corresponding, is the principal corresponding officer of the association. So anything that deals with written, writing of letters, as a formal communication between the association and other organs, it is the role of the Secretary General. But in case there is a delay in communication on the side of the IPRO, the Secretary General have the right to communicate, to send dispatches. So if the IPRO, communicate on time, I believe the Secretary General does not need to send any dispatch. So there should be clarity. And when I am elected, I will ensure that these things are clearly specified. I will know, I will tell the IPRO, this is my limit, this is what I will do. But I can only pass my limit when you do not function on time. But once you function on time, you relay informations on time, I don't have to intervene in your communication system. So there should be communication between these two, constant communication, yeah, to avoid misunderstandings. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can keep the mic. If you are elected as the Secretary General, you will be one of the signatory to the account. So, and the 15th Executive Council, when we come into the power, we find it difficult to inherit and get the control of our association account. So this time around, how will you make sure that that kind of thing did not repeat itself? To get the account once you are sworn into the power.
You know, I do not think there was no access to the accounts, because I have seen the Secretary General having all the documents needed to access the accounts. So I believe not accessing the account was not an issue. If they could not access the accounts, you know, they could not do any activity that they need to sponsor. All the activities were going on smoothly.
Yes, activities were going on, but they were pre-financed because we cannot withdraw directly from the account. And as a Secretary General, it's your responsibility for the council to get the whole of their account if you are elected.
Yeah, they wish to do so, because what is the most important thing is to ensure that the activities are going on smoothly. If the activities are going on smoothly, then the reason people access accounts is to take money and sponsor those activities. But if the activities are going on smoothly, then it is not necessary. The money is still there. No one will take it even if it is not accessed. But the Secretary General, I have seen clearly, he has all the documents. I saw his passport. So accessing the accounts was not an issue. That was not an issue. Yeah. For me, I have ID card. I have all the documents that are needed to access any account.
Thank you. That's my question. Yes, thank you. If you are elected, Honorable, you will be one of the signatory to the account, and the 15th Executive Council, when we come to power, we find it difficult to access our account. And if you are the Secretary General, 16th Executive Council, it's your responsibility to make sure that the account is under your custody. How will you make sure that that kind of history did not repeat itself?
Yes, Prof, serving as the IPR of the 15th Executive Council and coming into the council, you know exactly what happened. So I believe in primary sources than someone trying to back a wrong horse because of 1 or 2, 3 things. And this was something that was never, in the holes. It was very crystal clear to all Edusans that it took some time before they could, the 15th Executive Council could access the accounts. This is the reality. Let us accept you are here as a candidate to tell people if you are going to do the same thing. They are not talking to you to say if, to back an individual. That is not exactly the purpose. And then it's very important that we put these things as they are so that people will definitely know what happens. So as an individual, I'm in current position of both the national ID and of course the passport, Gambian passport. I acquire all these documents and I would make sure that the change of batin from the signatory of the accounts, it's something that is going to be in the past. If it is to come, it will not come from me as the Secretary General, probably with another candidate, but definitely not me. But what happens, let's say them as they happens. It happens here and it is empirical. It is evidence. And sponsoring of, let's say, activities, you cannot say it is normal. As an individual who is trying to vie for a position and serving as an administrative secretary, the coffers are already there. Why are you allowing a minister to use his or her own money to pre-finance an event? And you say that's normal when the coffers are already there. It's something that is pathetic. I don't think it should come from an individual who want to be neutral and want to serve the interests of Edusans. So I believe if you vote for him, he's going to do the same. If somebody is not qualified, they will still say, go pre-finance. Because this is it. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think so.
Thank you. Honorable, for 15 Executive Council, IPRO, the Information and Communication Ministry, and my committee members, we make a background check about you people. Since we come into office, we find out that both of you are very active in the political and social bantaba, bombarding people with a lot of messages and counter messages. And my committee come with a conclusion that both of you are not fit to serve as the Secretary General. So how can you defend yourself in that area? And then you convince the Edusa to vote for you as the next Secretary. But the IPR Ministry said that from the records that we have, both of you are very active, and we have the records from the bantabas.
Well, before that, I need to clarify this. Pre-finance, I cannot remember anyone pre-financing, because as an association, you seek funds from other bodies, and these such as the NAMI Foundation. The NAMI Foundation sponsored the nationwide tour. They brought laptops, they create trainings for the Edusans, and so on and so forth. So there is no other person, an executive member, pre-financing the activities of the association. Coming to the Edusa social bantaba and political bantaba, since I set foot in the University of the Gambia, I have been participating in politics. I am an active participant in the political bantaba and social bantaba. And since I started participating in these political bantaba pages, there is no Edusan who will stand today and say, Suleiman Jao, you once insulted me. It never happened. And if anyone have that, let him bring the evidence, let me see. For 3 good years, I have been participating in politics. I neither insult, I neither nor defame anybody. So I believe, as an individual, you should be responsible. You should challenge ideas. Politics is about ideas, not defamation and caricature. It is ideas that bring development, not caricature, defamation, insults. Those things have no use. And Edusa should be a fertile ground for the seeds of the system change that we need in our country. So everything that we need in the country should begin in the University of the Gambia. It should be a factory with the students as the raw materials. And after we have been fully baked, we will now be emitted into the society that have to accept us willy-nilly. We need to study the society, know the problems, go to the University of the Gambia, acquire the knowledge, and use that knowledge to transform the society.
Yes, we make the study. Our study says that both of you should not be a candidate because of your track records in the political bantaba.
Let them bring the evidence of their claims. If they believe I have done something in the political bantaba that will deny me these positions, let them bring the evidence. I'm waiting for that. Every Edusan is a witness to me that I involved in killing politics. I don't caricature, I don't insult, I don't defame. It is clear, very clear.
Thank you.
The Edusans can attest to that.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Honorable, the 15th Executive Council IPR, the Information and Communication Ministry, and you know that we are the custody of all the social media. My committee and I will make a background check on you two, and then our committee come with a resolution that both of you are not fit to become the Secretary General of 16th Executive Council because of your track record, and you are actively involved in the messaging in this political bantaba. So what do you have to say about that? That you are not able to become the next.
Thank you for that. And then what the IPRO did, I think it's something very important. And then here we can, bring to light what exactly happened on these chat groups, especially on the political bantaba and of course on the social bantaba and other chat groups as well. For I, as an individual, I have partaked in exchanging messages on the chat groups, but not for once do I engage myself in adversarial politics. Do I engage myself in political bigotry? Do I engage myself in cyberbullying? Do I engage myself in character assassination? Do I engage myself in defamation of character of individuals who are vying for positions, of individuals who are playing major roles in the development of Edusa? Never for once do I. And my opponent here is being known, a notorious one for that matter. If you said King Solomon, everybody knows. An individual, together with his co-counterparts, have been engaging on the social media platforms, on the chat groups, insulting people. If this is politics of insult, he is here for you. He has been doing that. And I am very glad that he said if there are records. Now I would ask him, if people bring empirical evidences that he cannot deny, would he withdraw his candidacy? Because these evidences are there, and we are just waiting for this moment to come. And he said there are no evidences. And I'm sure that these evidences are going to be brought to light. And if these evidences are brought to light, he will still deny, even though his number is attached to it. His name is attached to it. He will still deny it. The truth is, you cannot circumambulate around situations because you wanted to protect yourself from something that you have been doing. So this is something that is pathetic. And then I, for one, as an individual, I engage in clean politics. I engage in politics of policies. And I can tell you for free that I was insulted. My parents were insulted during the time of the 14th Executive Council campaign period, during the time of Musa Abbas period. I was campaigning together with Ibrahim Etseka, and it went up to a moment, some of their campaign managers had to call me. Is it that you don't have anything to do? Ibrahim Sabal is one of them. I want to convince you to come and join SSC. I know what your pen can do. Up to a point that selling out the agendas of my candidates beat them to their hardcore, that they have to insult my parents. And these are evidence that we can provide.
Thank you.
And I don't exchange the same reciprocate parents to them. Because that is not what I do.
Thank you.
I'm always clean, and that is my reputation.
Thank you. And then I have a follow-up question to that. In 1 minute, I want you to answer this question. We also find out that when you are elected to become the Secretary General, the Information Ministry, the finding that you make, they say that you're going to serve your team, your camp, that is Team Renaissance, but not the general student body. In 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. Just like I told the Electoral Commission, and they have that fervent belief in me, for what I consider is, if I am elected, I consider myself as a servant to Edusans. That is how I consider myself. I don't consider myself as a Renaissancer. I don't consider myself as an SSC. I consider myself as a genuine education student who is there to steer the affairs of thousands of students. And I took the oath that I am going to serve without fear, favor, or hindrance. And this oath that I swore with the Holy Quran, I believe is quite enough for me to state that part of the neutrality, but not what is happening, mutilating the Constitution, the LB, the electoral calendar, just to favor individuals. That is not what we do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, from the findings also, we find out that when you are elected as the Secretary General of 16th Executive Council, you will serve Student Service Council SSC, but not the entire Edusans. What do you have to say about that in 1 minute?
You see, for me, all the positions that I have handled were given to me because of trust. Trust in my character, trust in my dealings. They trusted me. That's why they give me these positions. All these Secretary General positions that I have handled, including the United Teachers Front, and including the current Executive Council, including the Edusans, have a trust in me. And I am somebody whom, when I am trusted, I don't sacrifice my integrity for anybody. My integrity comes first, because I'm doing this job for the association, for the Edusans, not for any camp. Once I am elected into office, I become neutral and work according to the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme, document that governs the association. Thank you.
Thank you. Now you can hold that. That is going to be my final question before I'll give you the opportunity to ask each other. Now, what is going to be your take on this? The camps that are in Edusa are the one that divide the Edusans. That is the Team Renaissance and the Student Service Council. I think it's high time now to abolish these camps, and then the politicians go and contest in their own in the 17th Executive Council. Do you in support to dismantle the camps, or you are still in favor for the camps? In 30 seconds.
I believe the camps should not be dismantled because politics, sometimes you need to accept constructive criticism. In SSC, we don't believe in defamation, caricature, and insult. Yeah, we believe in politics of ideas. Yeah, so this should be a playground, a training for us, to prepare for national politics. And in national politics, there are political parties. And I believe in the School of Education too, there should be political camps, but these camps should have rules and regulations that they have to work according to. During competitions, there can be divisions. Divisions is possible during competitions. But these divisions should not lead to insults and caricature. It should be based on respect. The competition should be based on respect. Yes, this is how.
So basically what you said, we should maintain the camps.
Yes.
Thank you. Honorable, that is going to be my final question before I'll give you the opportunity to ask each other. We say that the two camps are the one that bring divisions in the School of Education. So what is going to be your take that all the camps will be abolished and candidates that are going to vie under the 17th Executive Council come as an individual and look for the vote instead of backed by the camps? In 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. I believe in any political landscape, what is important is there is always competition. Competition is very important, but competition in a manner that is healthy, and competition being healthy is backed by the constitution. But then if the constitutions are mutilated to the benefits of other people to create political gerrymandering, obviously problems will emanate. But I believe that we can still strategize, we can still do better as far as Edusa is concerned, because this school is seen as the bedrock, the beacon of hope in UTG. If we say education, it serves as one of the best and the eldest school. So it's important that the people in the camp, one thing I can tell you for free is that Edusans are not the problem. It is the leadership that is the problem. So we need to work on the leadership, both in Renaissance and of course in SSC.
Thank you.
To making sure that we, ventured into politics that are clean and not politics of defamation, character, political bigotry, or character assassinations.
Thank you. Now that brings us to the end of the question that I have for the candidates vying for the Secretary General position under the 16th Executive Council. Now I will give them the opportunity to ask each other, and if there is any rebuttals, this is their opportunity to bombard each other, and then let it be fire for fire, and make sure that you clear whatever is in your head. So now you will start the questions and you will have the opportunity to answer. So now the floor is yours.
Yes. Now I wanted to ask Uncle Brother Suleiman. Is very important. The position of the Secretary General is very important as it serves as the administrative bedrock, the embryo. And then I have studied closely very well that the only thing you always talk about is the GTU, Teachers for Front. That's the only thing you talked about. And in fact, of what you talked about, it's not something that is clear. It's not something that is empirical. Some of those, you said you have been sending dispatches. Those dispatches are not official, but you say you believe that because of that, it brought an impact. And then I am here, I am a teacher, I have never been aware of those things. Now, will you tell the Edusans, what exactly have you done for them? Because you are to serve Edusans, that they have to trust you. I served in the 14th Executive Council, Secretariat member. and I was giving that person as one of the best active. And Bure, so if he is watching, he would attest to this. And you are currently serving in the 15th Executive Council Secretariat. What else have you done for education students?
You see, if you have a look at,
In 2 minutes, huh?
no problem. If you have a look at the issue of the pension accounts, you should even thank me for that, for participating in that. Because if you have a look at the School of Education, majority are teachers, and majority of them have pension accounts in the GTU CCU. If pension accounts are open for them without their consent, their money is deducted without their consent, these accounts being hidden, we've discovered the accounts and ensure that the GTU CCU make decisions that are genuine, decisions that represent the interests of the teachers. I believe if I involve in such until they do the necessary thing, I believe you should thank me for that. I did not say the pension accounts, opening of pension account is not good, but it should be done on the right procedures.
I said, what have you done for Edusans now, apart from that?
Yes, apart from that, I have participated, in writing the activity report.
Yeah, I talked about that. You are already a member in the 15, so I talked about that.
So I'm working with the Secretary General, and we secured so many partnerships. Yeah, we strengthened the existing partnerships, and we created new ones. And this has brought a lot of development for the education students. I have participated in almost all the Edusa activities from the 13th Executive Council to date, to the 15th Executive Council.
Examples like?
No.
We are reviewing.
No.
Yeah. I participated in the activities, Edusa activities. Yeah, I participated in public speaking and all other things.
All right. So now it's your turn to ask now. It's your turn to ask.
Okay. Now, I believe as an individual vying for the position of Secretary General, you should have an understanding of the Edusa Constitution, especially things that are related to your domain. Now, if an executive member wants to resign and writes a letter, what are the things that you will have a look at to deny or accept or approve?
Yes. In 2 minutes, huh?
Yeah, thank you so much. Constitutional responsibilities of the Secretary General. And then as per resignation of ministers, one thing I would look at is that the minister have to write to the secretary at least in fortnight. And fortnight here I'm talking about within 2 weeks. You should write your resignation letter and send it to the secretary. So the Secretary General would forward this matter to the council, and then your matter would be looked into, and your purpose of you resigning from your position, either being travel, it has to be tangible. So if it does, then that is the time through the other bodies, because you don't just have only the executive, you also have the LB and of course the advisory. So this matter would be taken into consideration, and if your reason of resignation is tangible, then definitely you will resign from your position. For example, if we are going to, let's say, you want to participate in an election in the SU level, there you don't need to resign. You just have to take a leave of absence, and then if you go into elections, you win, then you continue and your deputy would continue, and then if you lose, then you would come back and serve in your position as well.
Thank you. Now it's your turn to ask your final question.
Yes, now I did ask you about what you have done, and then it have been clear to Edusans that definitely you haven't done anything better for them that warrants them to at least give you the votes to serve you as an administrative secretary, if not serving as a secretariat member of the 15 Executive Council, which I equally did. And then, face of UTG, face of Edusa, debate and public speaking, a speaker nationwide tour. These are Hakulan track records that I did within the School of Education. Now, on the constitutional responsibilities, I would just want you to highlight the part of the Constitution that stated the roles of the Secretary General and how many roles are stated in the Constitution as per the mandate of the Secretary General.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for that question. I believe it is a question that I need to answer. It is indicated in section 15th of the Edusa Constitution. If you have a look at the Constitution, it has 61 sections, 8 parts. And the role of the Secretary General is found in section 15. And there are 9 rules of the Secretary General. And one of them, the Secretary General should be the principal corresponding officer of the association. The Secretary General should write minutes of meetings and keep these records and present them during Congress. Yes. The Secretary General should also partner with the Welfare Minister in securing partnerships, in identifying, partnerships. Yeah. So the Secretary General should also have a collaboration with the faculty office, to get the list of all students. Yeah, it is a responsibility of the Secretary General. Yeah. So the Secretary General should also write comprehensive activity report and present it during Congress. Yeah. So these are rules of the Secretary General. He should also be able to create a database when the association needs it. So these are the rules of the Secretary General. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's your turn to ask the final question.
Okay. Now, what 3 things should an individual as an executive member do that will warrant him to be removed from the council, and how is this process going to be done? What 3 things? According to the Constitution, there are 3 things that will warrant an executive member to be removed. What are those 3 things?
Yeah, in 2 minutes, Honorable.
Thank you. Definitely talking about the impeachment of a minister in his or her portfolio or in his or her roles, and the impeachment has procedures that you normally take to make sure that you impeach an individual in the event that, one, they have violated the codes of the conduct of the association, or they have let's say the oath, or they have set out the secret of the association, which we have seen happening, but nothing has been done. And that is the impeachment procedure. And last but not least is if the individual is found incompetent enough. If the individual is found incompetent enough to serve his or her roles as a minister, requires him or her to be impeached from her role or from his role. And this impeachment has procedures. So you impeach through writing, or you go through Congress, and Congress has the most powerful and easiest decision making as far as the Edusa Constitution 2022 is concerned. If you fast decisions procedure taking, you can do it on Congress. You take the two-third majority of the Congress, the ayes are more than the no, then you just go there by that and you impeach the individual of violating this code of conduct that I just mentioned here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the question and answer section between two of them. And now I will give them 2 minutes to talk to Edusans and to say goodbye to Edusans and the reason why they should vote for them. Honorable, you have 2 minutes, and that is going to be your final words to the Edusans. And you can state the reasons why they should vote for you, not the other way around. In 2 minutes, please.
Hey, fellow Edusans. I am Tumani Kamara, a 400-year student majoring in English language and a minor in history. This year's election is a defining moment for Edusans. We have all witnessed what happened. We have all seen what happened during the nationwide tour, during the Congress. I read a bill for people with disabilities or persons with disabilities, and the bill was mutilated by people for individual gains. And again, it is a moment for the first time. The School of Education was suspended. The 15th Executive Council was suspended by the Dean of the School of Education, by the SU. And this has never happened, all because of lack of efficiency and, of course, imbalance rule in the 15th Executive Council. I believe it is the right moment, the right time that we all draw back to ourselves, look at the mirrors, and make the best decisions come 31st of this month, March 2026. Now, your choice is that you need change, and that change is rightly here. Why? I have served, tested, contested, not once, not two, within the university and outside of the university. I have served as a Secretary General in Smart Mentorship Academy, currently serving as the President of New Covenant Environmental Club. I have served in the 14th Executive Council. I'm the winner of the first ever Edusa pageantry, and I represented School of Education in face of UTG 2024. And for 2024-2025 academic year, I won the Best Teacher Award winner in New Covenant UBS. I have served as the Administrative Secretary of Contour Youths for Development. I have served as the Administrative Secretary for Sami for Better Education. These stuffs, these qualities, the caliber, the timber, the alacrity, the confidence, and the trust that thousands of people had in me in education, in the constituency where I am from, I believe in this year's election, we need that change, and the change is rightfully me. On that note, the best thing I can say, let us all come out in our large numbers on the 31st of March 2026, either in Brikama, our polling station, or at Faraba polling station, to vote for the rightful candidates. And Tumani Kamara is your rightful candidate for the position of Secretary General Edusa Elections 2026. Thank you all, and I wish you all a good luck. On that note, I would say, Jarama Al-Mindara, Amitekatu, Jokonjal, Baran Kanuari, Jarayanjef.
Thank you so much. Honorable, I'll give you 2 minutes to talk to the Edus and convince them to vote for you to become the next Secretary General under the 16th Executive Council, and that's going to be your final word also. You have 2 minutes to talk to the Edusans to vote for you as the next Secretary General.
Thank you very much. My dear Edusans, I believe every right is connected with a responsibility. No responsibility, no right. If you want to have leaders who represent your interest, then you should have the responsibility to come out in your large numbers and vote for Suleiman Jawo, aka King Solomon. He is the right candidate for the Secretary General. You see, Kanayo Okanayo once said, in life there are 3 C's. The first C stands for chances, the second C stands for choices, and the third C stands for consequences. He said, when God created us, He gave us chances. In these chances, we make our choices, but every choice that we make, we should consider the consequences. This should guide you in your search of a good leader. This should guide you when you are voting. Edusans, he who points his finger in darkness should accept whatever he touches. Therefore, in order to make the right decision, you have to vote with clarity. You have to vote for the individual who is selfless, who can stand and defend you, somebody who is not biased, who does not believe in caricature and defamation. Anything I say about an individual, I will produce the evidence. This is what I believe in politics. I believe politics of, I believe in decent politics, not politics of defamation, caricature, and insult. My partner, my competitor, my opponent here, he was texting and texted me unknowingly, telling me that my opponent, that is me, I have withdrawn my candidature. The time I knew that he was the one coming. He is spreading rumors about me to the Edusans. You be careful. I have screenshots of this. It is in my phone, and if he wishes, I can tell him right now. I can show him the evidence. I don't defame, I don't caricature. Whatever I say about individual, I will produce the evidence. I am not like him. If he wants, I can produce the evidence right now. He was texting people, and he texted me unknowingly, telling me that that man is incompetent, he is not capable. The moment he know that I am the one coming, he gave up. You see, for me, I don't do that. When I am texting the Edusans, I tell them what they can do, what I can do, not what my opponents is like this or like that. No, I don't believe in that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the policy debate. We have the Secretary General. Now the ball is in the court of the Edusans to decide. That day is 31st March 2026. You come and select the best candidate to represent us as the next Secretary General under the 16th Executive Council. I would like to take this opportunity and thank the 15th Executive Council and the members of the School of Education, the faculty officers from the dean down to the last man, and the university fraternity in general, the Fine TV, the CEO. I thank you all for giving us the opportunity to come here and the candidates to share their policies and program. So now we heard from both the candidates. Now it's left to the Edusans to decide among these two who is going to be the next Secretary General. And you should make no mistake and giving us the wrong Secretary General, because Secretary General is going to be the backbone of the next council. If you have good Secretary General, the council will be good. And if you don't have a good Secretary General, then you have nobody to blame, but you have to blame yourself. So on that note, I thank you all. I am Selmat Fati, the Information and Communication Minister, 15th Executive Council. Thank you until we meet again. Bye.